Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breech coming to you. My buddy, good old Jim Nye, is back. He's trying it once again. Jim Nye 686 C Nation. He's on Twitter at Jim Nye 686. I don't know how in the world he got that account back, but I guess he did. But moving on, biggest news of the day is probably the TNA spoiler news. The show is recorded down in shoot, where was it? Macon, Georgia, back in good old Georgia, home of WrestleMania. One of my good Twitter buddies, Smart Rage, he was there. He was the guy I got to meet up with at Access and WrestleMania, and I think at Monday Night Raw met up with him too. He was a good guy that I've been following on Twitter for a long time. Check him out. He was there, so check his timeline out if you want it more in depth than the spoilers that are out there in other places. I guess there was title changes and setups for the next pay-per-view for TNA. Um, Women's tag team belt, a belt that I forget that even exists a lot, and I think TNA is probably kicking themselves for even bringing that in. Good old Miss Tessmacher and Tara, they lost the belts. I guess Tara won't have to complain about being a champion in TNA not being used, and now she's not a champion, and she more likely just will not be used. New champions was Madison Rain and Gail Kim. Congratulations to my buddy MC, the one and only Gail Kim fan in the world. She came in a big way with her debut. I guess she's part of, I guess you can say, Team Jarrett. Messing with the head diva or whatever they call her, head knockout, whatever knockout law is that whatever she's called now, whatever. Um, but moving on from there, I guess moving off of the spoilers that were on last week that we actually seen the title change, but we haven't seen the number one contenders match yet. That's going to air tomorrow night between Robert Roode and Samoa Joe. I really stayed away from those spoilers because I wanted to see what they were going to do. Were they going to make Robert Roode matter, or were they going to make Samoa Joe, come back to life after his negative 10 points in the Bound for Glory series? Negative 10 points. But uh, I guess I got screwed by that because I wanted to watch Impact tomorrow, but these spoilers came out and they were too juicy to pass up on, and everybody was tweeting about these. So, surprise, surprise! I guess Robert Roode wins tomorrow night. Um, but now they put Robert Roode against James Storm in these spoilers that come on the next Thursday. They have their title match, and coming off of them changing the title for the second time on TV now. Robert Roode beats James Storm, which is no surprise to me. I always picked Roode over Storm. I don't know if there's going to be a Janetti and there's going to be a Michaels out of this Beer Money group. Beer Money was one of my favorite tag teams, and I knew they were going to split sooner than later. And now that they finally have split, now that they're in the title situation, both of them, I guess I can't complain that much. I guess they're really going to use these guys. And I've always taken Team Rude, and some other people pick Team Storm. To me, I think teams. I don't know what's on that, but James Storm, I think he needs to, have some sort of a singles run before he should be just handed this, this title run. I don't look at him as a main eventer. Maybe you could make him that way, but try to have him go for that, TNA TV title or something like that. But I guess now that you've put the World Heavyweight Championship on him, you can't really knock him down that well. But by Robert Roode turning heel, I don't think a lot of people are surprised. Does this mean he joins the Immortal group? Is there even an Immortal group anymore if Hulk Hogan's not involved with it? I thought that's why they named it Immortal, because the Immortal Hulk Hogan was their leader. But that's something TNA probably hasn't even looked into yet. But I know Gunner and all those fools are still running around with Bischoff, so maybe it's Immortal Eric Bischoff. Maybe they'll have a match to fight over who the name Immortal belongs to. But you know, all in all, I'm not surprised. I think it is a good move for TNA. TNA, they're coming off their largest Impact rating in the history of Impact. I thought they would have got that sometime, either the first show when they first came onto Spike. I thought that was a pretty big show. That was the first time I was ever first able to see TNA live. I had checked out a few of their pay-per-views, I guess you could say. I was able to check out those through tape trading and stuff back in the day when they first started up in 2002, and I was able to tape trade their pay-per-views as they came along. That was the first time I was able to watch their live TV show. It's just too hard to keep up with the Fox Sports stuff. I really thought when that first match with AJ came out that really put him on the map, and somehow when Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe was going through their things, I know Lockdown was one of their highest rated pay-per-views of all time. So now it had the highest buy rate. So I'm surprised that they didn't get their highest rating around there because this doesn't seem like TNA now is as good it is. But I guess they're bringing in the fans, they're bringing in the viewers to Spike TV. So maybe that's why they did the live TV or not the tape TV, title change. Maybe they did that just to bring viewers and pop another rating. I know that. Well, I was thinking earlier in the day before I read the story when I got home that with UFC leaving, TNA is Spike TV's pretty much their main draw. But today, the company bought the other fighting championship, whatever they're called, Belfour or whatever they are. They bought them, so that now they're going to be on Spike TV and fill the void left by UFC. I guess they're filling in their time slots with the number two promotions in all sports. I guess maybe they'll sign the NBD with the Basketball Developmental League or something like that. Maybe put that on there. Maybe hope people care about it. But I think this is a good move for TNA. They're putting the young guys in the main event spots. At the end of the second show, AJ challenged for the title. So that's going to be your match. It's going to be Roode against AJ Styles, which really does excite me. I really think that should be a good match and really good for both of them. I love that AJ's back in the title hunt. When he main evented the X Division pay per view, and then he wasn't used that well on the next pay per view, I really slapped TNA around and said that it was freaking stupid. That if you're the main event of the X Division, and they make it seem like the X Division really matters, and that this is the guy that is the face of your company, I guess you could say. And AJ Styles, he's the past, the present, and hopefully he'd be the future. But they just weren't using him, and now that he's finally going to be, in the main event spot, I think that's really good for AJ. But now, what sucks is James Storm doesn't have shit. I don't think there's any time you can get him involved in a feud where he can have another match that matters against anybody else. There wasn't any outside interference in the match, so you can't put him against him. You can only hope that he'll be involved some way with a run-in on Roode, and then we can finally get our Roode versus Storm match. But then that sort of screws AJ unless they put the title onto AJ, and then they go fight. He goes and fights Samoa Joe, or this is somebody else. Matters when Kurt Angle comes back. He needs to find some heel that he could fight that at the title division. But and then maybe Beer Money would just fight it out with no title, which would suck for both of them. I guess you can say if they both have short title runs with Storm only wearing it for a couple weeks and then Roode only wearing it for a couple weeks, that makes them look dumb. But I guess TNA is dumb and all in the end. So I sort of rambled through this one and said a whole lot more than I wanted to. So I hope it makes sense. But those are my thoughts on the TNA spoilers. Anybody have any video responses to what this is? I guess a lot of people say this is really stupid. I feel sorry for my buddy Danny who went to Bound for Glory and watched a whole bunch of matches that didn't really matter in the end, and then two TV tapings in a row, they both get title shots that make a big deal, and he didn't get jack. So this is Stevie Breech. Peace out.